Hello, ladies, and welcome to another episode of the Liberated Woman podcast. I'm your host, Christiano Green, and I'm a mindset coach for women, helping women to overcome fear, doubt, self-sabotage, and rejection so they can truly get the results in their life that they need to have. So this week on the podcast, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, and that is beliefs. Now, our belief system are the things in life that either hold us back or push us forward. And it really depends on what we're trying to do, the kinds of beliefs that we have, where they've come from, that really, like I said, keep us stuck or actually help us to take action. So, in my work, helping so many women, one of the main things that we really have to work on is really understanding the belief systems, because generally what happens when I'm talking to my clients, they start telling me a story, right? And they'll tell me a story about, their relationship, their divorce, right? And they'll have a big meaning that they put to it. They might tell me a story about why they're not progressing in their career or their business. They'll have a big story about why that's happening and a big meaning around it as well. They'll talk about stuff that happens with their relationships with their friends and things like that, where things have gone sour, and they'll have a big meaning to it. And the big thing that really I have to work out and dissect is, what are the beliefs that are hidden within the story that these ladies are saying, right? Because of course, when we have certain situations that happen in life, there's going to be a story, but there's also going to be beliefs around the story as to why this has happened this way, or why this person did this to us, or whatever it is, right? And so when we can decipher what the beliefs are within the story, we can see, hey, are these beliefs causing the outcome? Are these beliefs empowering, the person, or are these actually beliefs holding us back from actually moving forward? Because a lot of times in a story, there's usually something like this: there's a victim or a villain, right? Or there's a victor, right? And we can play each role quite easily, or we can give roles to other people because of whatever story we're telling, right? And then whatever meaning that we've given from that story. And the meanings will come from our belief systems as well. So if we're someone in life who really wants to work on, changing our outcome where we're at, we've had a messy situation with the relationship with the partner or a husband, and we're going through a divorce, and we don't want to take on that crap to the next relationship. We have to work on the belief systems that we have. We have to work on the situations so that we can move past that. We can, turn the story from being quite tragic or quite emotional or quite hurtful, to something that, again, is, I've overcome this, I've moved past this is just a part of my story. I can take the beliefs and move forward. So like I said, there's so many of my clients, like I said, will struggle with their belief systems, and that'll hold them back in life. So oftentimes when it comes to our belief systems, most of our beliefs actually were formed between the ages of 0 and 7 years old. So a lot of the time, these belief systems aren't actually even stuff that we consciously formed ourselves, because usually between 0 and 7, we don't have a thinking faculty mind, right? And so when we don't have a thinking faculty mind, we get told certain things, oftentimes from our teachers, our parents, other family members, right? And when we get told them, we believe a lot of this stuff to be almost like gospel, like it's the facts, right? It was written down as a law. And so then the belief systems that we have can be handed down to us from people around us, and they can leave, and they will leave very, lasting impressions on us. And some of those impressions will be great, and they'll be fantastic, and they're going to serve us in our life, and we're going to be so happy because of it. But then there are going to be some of those things where those belief systems that, are handed down to us from our family are going to be things that aren't serving us. Now, maybe they served our family in the time that they had them, because of course, as we know, going through numerous different generations, we actually go through different situations. And so maybe back 20, 30, 40, 50 odd years ago, that belief system may have been something that was keeping that person safe, that was protecting them, that was, causing them to have success. But as we know, the world changes, things develop, and some of those belief systems, that might have helped, our previous generations may actually be hindering us in the day in the today and the now, right? Or also some of these belief systems could be handed down to them from their family, etc. And they've always been something that, is just being accustomed to, right? That's why so many people follow in the footsteps of their family, of their parents, because again, their belief systems have been informed because of this as well. So again, we have to question, where do we get this belief from? How long it's been there and it's actually serving us? Because if it's not serving us, what do we need to do to change our belief system so we can get a different result? Now, you talk about this a lot with my clients what I call the ABC method. Now, A is for action, B is for belief, and C is for choices. So let's kind of talk about it like this. So if I've got some, say, really disempowering belief, let's just say I really believe that I'm not good enough to start my own business, which is what a lot of ladies coming to me. They're actually coaches. They might have started the business, but they actually don't have any clients, right? That could be something that happens. That's got a lot of, the ladies that come to me are in that position. And they might not believe that they're good enough to have it. So because of their belief systems here in the section of B, they might be making choices that are not serving them moving forward. Some of the choices might be, when it comes down to, putting out content or getting on a sales call. You might avoid those things. So my choice might be to avoid those things, right? And then the action that I'm taking is to avoid doing those things. So because of my disempowering belief, the choices that I'm making aren't actually helping me get to my desired result, my desired outcome. And again, the action that I'm taking is probably lacking, or it's moving me in a direction that's not good. Because oftentimes when things aren't working and you think it's this thing, you might jump onto a shiny new object and you try 57,000 things, but you don't stick to one and get consistent with that one thing. So again, that could hold us back. Now let's talk about if we worked on shifting that kind of a belief, which I do with so many of my clients who come to me who, like I said early on in their business. We work on building up their self-worth to the point where they really believe that their mission, their purpose, their passion needs to be shared with the world, and they become, like I said, confident and congruent in that because we've worked on their beliefs. So those kinds of ladies, what do they do when we shift those beliefs? They start making smarter choices. They start realizing, what are the things that I need to do? I need to take action to move forward. So their action that they're taking is actually moving them forward. So there might be, like I said, I get consistent with doing the work that I need to do, the ABCs of running a business online. So I'm going to post. I'm going to start conversations. I'm going to, offer someone to come to one of my 3 events. They come to my event, then, they get on a call with me. So they follow a certain process that can happen that way, right? Their belief leads to them making smarter choices and taking better action in their life. So oftentimes, though, when we work on the beliefs, we do make the better choices. But again, it's about helping people so that they can stop being indecisive. Because when people don't make a choice, they're still making a choice, which is something that we have to become accustomed to, which is why the ABC method is so super important. Because again, once we work on the belief, now it's about help you make those smarter choices and take the better action in your life. So this is often, like I said, why it's so important that the belief system is so important, because even like I said, in that ABC method, the B really rules the kingdom, because B is the beliefs. And if our beliefs are ruling everything that we do, and the choices that we make, then it's important that we get, beliefs that are empowering to us, that actually move us forward. And a lot of the time, like I said, the ladies that come to me that struggle with it don't even realize it's their belief system that's holding them back. They might be just looking at it in such a narrow view of like, oh, I don't know why my business isn't working. Like, I really want this business, it's not happening, I'm not getting clients, and they might blame everything else. It might be that, oh, this strategy doesn't work for me, or the market is saturated with people in this. It's not going to work, blah blah blah. So it's always kind of a story that, like I said, that they'll tell themselves, and give a meaning to the story. And that's why we talk about having to decipher the story to get the beliefs around it. Now, I'd love to hear from you ladies around what is the main story that you keep telling people about maybe what you're not getting. For example, let's say you're trying to achieve growth in your business. You're trying to achieve finding love. You're trying to achieve improving your relationships. You're trying to achieve better health, better wealth as well, right? Because this is a lot of the things that I help so many of my clients do, like what I class as holistic living, working on creating holistic health, which is having health and happiness in all areas of your life, right? So I'd love to hear, what is the story that you keep telling yourself and others, and the meaning that you're giving to it for the things that you're not achieving in life, whether that's, like I said, business, relationships, health, wealth, whatever it is, right? I want to understand, what is that story? Because then when you tell me that story, I'm going to ask and find out and help you uncover what are the beliefs behind it. Because when we can uncover that, we can do the work. So feel free to share that with me. I know a lot of you ladies share with me your stories and your questions. So I love hearing from you. So share that with me. And I'll be back again next week with another episode of the Liberated Woman podcast. But until then, bye for now.